Hello, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. This is one of 4 series of videos to provide a helpful demonstration on how you can help promote and engage with Union League Boys and Girls Clubs on social media. All trustees were given a social media guidelines and checklist to outline what you can do to help. These videos will demonstrate exactly how you can do the things that are listed on this guideline and checklist. As a trustee member, you play a crucial role in helping promote Union League Boys and Girls Clubs communications initiatives. Social media plays a vital part in getting Union League Boys and Girls Clubs greater name recognition and reaching a wider audience. We use social media to share all the good work that our clubs are doing and the impact that that work makes on our club youth. With your help, our social media posts and content can achieve reaching greater user engagement and an ever-growing network of supporters and followers. These videos are broken up into the different platforms that Union League Boys and Girls Clubs utilizes: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We understand that our trustees may not utilize all of these platforms, and we do not expect our trustee members to do so. We only ask that you follow the social media guidelines and checklist for the platforms that you do use or are interested in starting to use. In this video, we're going to take a look at how to use Facebook and what you can do to promote us on Facebook. A lot of this is going to get pretty granular, so if there's any content on this video that you don't find particularly helpful to you or applicable or that you already know, please feel free to skip ahead and find the sections that are of greater use to you. Of all the social media platforms, Facebook is among one of the more versatile ones in terms of people use it to share a more larger and wider array of content and information. It can be used to share photographs. It can be used to help share articles and news pieces that you found interesting. It also can be used, obviously, to share personal information too, or personal news. So some people use it, for example, to demonstrate what they've been doing recently, as well as to help promote some of the nonprofits and organizations that they support. And that is why we ask those of you who utilize Facebook to help promote us on Facebook. So right now, what you are seeing is what is called My Feed. And My Feed is really a whole collection of posts from other users that Facebook thinks I will be interested in seeing. And if you're following us on Facebook, it's not unlikely that you would see any of our posts or activities on social media. So, for example, Facebook knows that I am closely following Union League Boys and Girls Club, and the very first thing is they have put up this one post from Union League Boys and Girls Clubs with these really great photos. So I am going to like them. And the other thing I can do to interact with this is I didn't just have to like it. I could have also loved it, shown care. If it was funny, I could have expressed my amusement at the post with this icon, or I could have expressed my amazement with the wow. If I thought it was sad, I could use the sad feature, or if I thought this was an article or something that made me angry, I could express it with anger by picking this face. But hopefully you will never feel either anger or sadness with any of our posts, and you'll just be sticking with the more positive ones. Another thing that I can do is I can also leave a comment. For example, so I might say something such as, "Congratulations, Afif, since he is standing there with Cindy." And if I want, I could also attach a photo by clicking on this camera icon, or I could include a few other features, including basically an emoji, which is different faces, which you'll see more later. So if I wanted to post that, all I would have to do is then hit the enter button, which I'm going to hit on my keyboard. So you're not going to be able to see it on my screen. But as you can see here, it cropped up. And this just is going to be a message that is now attached to this post. Now, since this is just an example, I am going to delete the post, but you could also edit the comment too if for some reason there was something you forgot that you wanted to include in there, or if you wanted to change it in any way, but we're going to remove it since it was just an example. All right. Now, in this example, you can see that a Union League Boys and Girls Club post did show up, and actually very prominently, but Facebook's algorithm doesn't necessarily guarantee that you're going to see everything from everyone that you are following or interacting with. So really the best way to ensure that you are really closely watching what Union League Boys and Girls Club is doing on Facebook is by going to our page, which we will do in a moment. But yeah, so if you want to sort of see what other people you're following are doing, you would just go scrolling down in your feed just like this. So yeah, the best way I would describe a feed is essentially, it's sort of like a summary of what other people are doing that, again, that Facebook thinks that you'd be interested in seeing. Now, let's talk about what if you want to make your own post. Well, in this feed section here, you will see something that says, what's on your mind? And I can actually just click right there and immediately I can start generating a post that I want to. So I might say something along the lines of, love to promote Union League Boys and Girls Clubs. And that might be the messaging that I want to leave. And I can also do other things such as I can tag Union League Boys and Girls Clubs in this post. And when I'm saying tag, what that essentially means is that you would be basically setting something on your post to let whomever you're posting about know that you made a post about them. So for example, I'm going to say that I want Union League Boys and Girls Club to know that I made this post about them. So I can turn this into a tag by doing one of two things. I can either make their name right here get tagged, or I can include it at the bottom, or there's one other way, which I will show you later. So let's say, as opposed to this just being generic standard text, I want to make this into a tagged text. So the important thing whenever you want to tag somebody is you need to use the @ symbol. So put the @ right there. And this is going to let Facebook know that this intention of whatever follows the @ is the name or the handle, which is, the handle is just another term for a name of the user I want tagged. Now, you can't have any spaces in this, so I'm going to put this together and see, Facebook anticipated who they thought I was referring to in this, and Union League Boys and Girls Club popped up here, so I'm just going to click on that, and I no longer need the rest of that text right there. So when you see it's highlighted in blue here, that means that you have successfully tagged the person. If you put it in and you don't see this blue highlighting, that means it's not tagged and somehow it wasn't done correctly. If I wanted to keep the name in regular text, I certainly could, and then I could just move the tag below if I wanted to for some reason. Again, it's entirely up, although it untagged itself here. So again, you don't see it in blue, so that means it's untagged. So I'm going to just do that again to fix it, and I found it again, and now we have it correctly tagged. I also can add in some hashtags, and hashtags refer to basically classifiers or category names that you've essentially assigned to your post. And these classifications or these categories sort of help people have a greater likelihood of finding your posts if they might have an interest in what the hashtag refers to. So for example, I'm going to use a classic Union League Boys and Girls Club hashtag, which is just this hashtag sign here, or also known as pound, and then ULBGC. All of the hashtags that are considered Union League Boys and Girls Club Classic hashtags are listed in that checklist and hand guide that I had mentioned earlier. So you can always refer to that to see the list of what those are. And by putting in this hashtag, basically anyone who might be interested in Union League Boys and Girls Club can try to find any posts about us by looking it up this way. And it also just, again, is one way to try to boost the likelihood of some people being able to come across and view these posts here. So like hypothetically speaking, if this was a post actually about Women's History Month, I might do the hashtag Women's History Month. And by making that tag right there, anyone else who is interested in finding content about Women's History Month just now have a greater likelihood of being able to find this post. But again, that's just hypothetical because obviously this post is not directly related to Women's History Month. So in addition to writing whatever message you want to, adding whatever hashtags, and being able to mention and tag anyone that you want to, you can add other things such as photos and videos. So you would just click on this button there, and then you can see here it's popped up with access to a whole bunch of my photos, so I can pick whichever one I want to attach, or videos that I want to attach to this post. I have another alternative of tagging friends. So this is, again, another way that you can tag users. So if I didn't want anything in here that tagged or mentioned Union League Boys and Girls Club, another way I can tag them to notify them once that I've made this post about them, I could do it through this way. So or, maybe I want Margie to see this. So I could tag, for example, Margie in this post. But as you can see now, Margie will be notified once I post this that she's been tagged in this, but her name doesn't appear anywhere here. So again, that's another option to do that sort of tag and mention and letting the other person know that there's a post that you want them to see. Another thing I can do is add something such as a feeling or an activity, which it's not necessary, but this is just additional. So, maybe I'm feeling really excited because I am promoting Union League Boys and Girls Club. So I could express that I am excited, or you could also share details about what the activity is and actually categorize what the activity is. So if, hypothetically speaking, this was the gala and I was making a post about being at the gala, I could go to this feelings and activities section and I could mark it as celebrating, and then I can add in additional details to what I'm celebrating. Again, it's not necessary, but it's something additional you can kind of include on just to give it a little bit more. I also could check in, and by checking in, I would be basically including on Facebook where I was when I was making this post, which it's, again, entirely up to you. And so if, again, hypothetically speaking, it was gala time and we were at the point where we were able to do this in person again, and you were at Union League Club celebrating our gala, maybe you do want to check in and notify that you are at the Union League Club of Chicago. So, right there, I could look them up and I can see right here, I have the option of indicating that I am at Union League Club. So I would just click on that and it would include that geographic check-in, which basically it's sort of a geographic tag. So you can tag people or you can tag a place essentially. Another option is live video. Basically what that means is you can record a video of yourself directly on Facebook. So if I hit that button, I could start recording a video that I could then just immediately and directly post onto Facebook. So that kind of saves you, for example, of having to record something on your phone or on your computer and then having to download it from your phone or your computer then onto Facebook through this means in order to get it on. So that's just another alternative too. So whenever I'm done adding in whatever I want to do, so for example, if I want to make this a little bit more cutesy by adding in an emoji is really just basically a type of facial expression icon or a symbol that I want to add on to it, I can do that. And then once I'm done with everything, I can hit the post. And once I hit post, I'm publishing this on to Facebook. So that means that this will be visible on both my personal Facebook page. It also will be visible onto random other news feeds that Facebook has decided, that person probably wants to see your posts. So for example, one of your friends who you follow on Facebook, this might show up on their feed. because you posted it. And because once you post it and because you tagged Union League Boys and Girls Clubs, Union League Boys and Girls Club would be notified that this post was done, and they would then be able to quickly be able to find it, and then they can interact with it however they want. And same thing with Margie, since we tagged Margie in this as well. So that's just an example. And then again, I would post that when I'm done. But I'm not going to, because again, this is an example, so I'm just going to get rid of that so nobody gets alerted unnecessarily. So that's one way that you can create a post. You also will see this once you get to your main profile, which I'm going to do right now. So I'm done looking at my feed. I want to see my own personal Facebook page, and I can do that in one of two ways. I can either go to this button right here, because that's right now my username is ULBGC main, and I can click on that button, or you can see main up here as well, and that's another way I can get to my personal page. And here I am, and this is going to be customizable to however I want it. And you can see here is a listing of all the posts that I have ever posted on my wall. So this is also called my wall. So if you ever hear the term wall, that's what this is right here. Listing of my own posts on my own Facebook page. And you can see that right here, it's the exact same thing where I can then generate a post here, just like what we saw on our news feed. It's just that towards the top right there. So let's get into now, how do we find Union League Boys and Girls Clubs on Facebook? Well, up here, and this is visible no matter where you are in Facebook, you can see a search Facebook feature. So I can click on that, and then I'm going to just type in Union League Boys and Girls Clubs. And right at the top, Facebook found exactly what I am looking for. And just make sure that you are clicking on obviously the right one, because we also have pages for our individual clubs too. So here we are. This is Union League Boys and Girls Clubs. This is our overall main Facebook page. Okay, and now we are on the Union League Boys and Girls Clubs Facebook page. And the first thing we're going to do is to make sure that we are liking Union League Boys and Girls Clubs on Facebook, which I'm looking right here, and I can see that it is liked. If I was not, this wouldn't use liked, obviously in the past tense, it would just say like, and I would want to click on this button and make sure it then turns to liked. The other thing I'm going to do is to double check that I'm now, as a result, following Facebook, following Union League Boys and Girls Clubs on Facebook. Now, technically, Facebook sets it where once you like a page, you should automatically be following that page as well, but just kind of double check by by clicking on this ellipsis right here and looking at your follow settings. Because I see it says follow settings, I know that means that I'm also now following Union League Boys and Girls Clubs. But if for some reason there was something in my settings that didn't have it, where when I liked something, it followed immediately, it would also right here say follow. And I would want to click on that then too, to make sure I wasn't just liking the page, I was also following it. Now, what the difference between liked and follow is, it's a little complicated to explain. It more or less almost means the same thing. They're just kind of two different features. I'm not going to go really into detail about it, but we just ask that you do both like and follow us on Facebook. And as long as you have checked that you're doing both, then we're golden. So here we are in Union League Boys and Girls Clubs, and we're on, again, their page. So right here is their wall, the term that I had used earlier. And I can see here all of the posts that Union League Boys and Girls Clubs have ever done. And like I said, this is the best way for me to see and make sure that I am seeing and I'm up to date with what is going on with Union League Boys and Girls Clubs, and whether or not I'm really been regularly working or I've been regularly interacting with them. So all right. So we saw this post earlier on our newsfeed, which goes to show that the Facebook algorithm in this instance was accurate. And we can see we liked it earlier, so we can see that we've already liked it. And again, you have all these other options for how you can interact with it. If we wanted to leave a comment, again, there's this comment section where we could write in whatever we wanted. But there's one other way to interact with our posts that I haven't yet shown you, which is sharing, which you can see is this icon right here. So when I'm sharing someone else's post, I'm actually taking that post and adding it onto my wall, onto my page. So earlier we were on that ULBGC main page, which, I said was my Facebook page. So this would then go on to that page. So I'm just going to click share there. And when I'm sharing, I have two different options. I can either hit share now public. And when I do that, that means I'm automatically just taking this post as is and putting it straight on to my wall and onto my Facebook page without any personalized messaging that I wanted to include on there. But if you wanted to include your own sort of customized messaging, you would then hit what is share to newsfeed. So if I wanted to just add in something of my own to make it a little more personalized, I can certainly do that. So let's see an example of that. So I'm going to hit share to newsfeed because I want to share this onto my Facebook page, but I want to include my own messaging on there too. So I'm going to click on that. And then here I can type in whatever I want to. So great to see everyone. And if there was anybody I wanted to tag in this, so if I wanted to tag Club One in this because Fief is a member of Club One, I most certainly could. Or I could add in any hashtags I wanted in this text section. I mean, really, I can write whatever I want to and I think is relevant. I can even add, a little emoji again if I want to make it a little cute, or a whole bunch of other features here. And then whenever I am done with my messaging, I would then just hit post right here. And then I will show you, if we go back to my Facebook page, so if we go back to main, we scroll down, let's refresh. And so now we're on my Facebook page, but we can see now that post, great to see you, with my own messaging, including the initial messaging that Union League Boys and Girls Club included in with this post, is now visible on my wall. And by doing this too, this also increases the likelihood that this content will be visible to anyone whose wall my stuff might show up on. So for example, this increases the likelihood that any one of my friends that's following me on Facebook will see this content because it just might show up on their news feed, which again is that whole summary and synopsis that I was talking about, that Facebook collects and shows people based upon what they think will be interested in. And that concludes our demonstration on how you can promote Union League Boys and Girls Clubs on Facebook. We thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video and for learning what you can do to help us gain a wider audience. If you have any questions on what you saw in the video or want to learn anything more, please feel free to reach out to us. Thanks.